Okay, let's go. First, what we will do is here is we will create a one small program on the functional. Let's say I will say def, def. Let's say I'm saying fun, or I will say sums, 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 and here I'm keeping something like this, and then I will say print something, and let's say after that I am keeping here is num1, num equal to 10, and I'm saying num2 equal to 45, right? Then I'm saying print num plus num1. So do we get any kind of output here when we run this program? Okay, program is being executed, but you are not getting any kind of output here. The reason being, you are not calling this function. You are not calling this function. Getting this point? You are not getting any kind of output here. You because the reason is you are not calling this function, right? When you are executing this program, this function has been created. Okay. After that, you are declaring a num variable and assigning a 10 value to this num variable. Then you are declaring one more variable num2 and assigning a value of 45 to this num2, right? Here you are performing the addition of these num1 and num2. So what you will do here, you will say something like this. You have to call that function, and the name of that function is sumz, and then the braces. Then it will understand I am calling this function here. Now check the output here. Okay, it's saying num1 is not defined because there is no num1 here. There is something called as the num2. Okay, let me give the num2 here and let me run this again. And the output now here you are getting is 55, getting this point. Okay, so is there any other way to do the same program? Right, we just show you there is another way to do the same program. I will say something like this. I will say def sums, and here I can say a comma b, right? And here I am giving as a column, and here I am saying print a plus b, right? And here I can pass this num1. Let me take the same value so that I won't write it again. Control C, and I will say here Control V, and here instead of saying sumz, if I will say directly this thing here, check what output you will get here. Will you get any kind of output? No, you are saying missing two required positional arguments A and B. If you don't know why you are getting this, then check my the video that's on the parameter and arguments. I will say here num2. Now I'll give the two parameters. If I will give the one parameter, still it will throw an error because it needs the two parameters here, as I so told you. Suppose this is Alex. Alex is making one agreement here. Whenever you will call me, if you will not give me the toffee and the sandwich, I will not do the work. Right? This is the agreement, right? Here you have to give him the toffee, you have to give him the sandwich so that it will work. If there is some default value here, then at that time the situation is different. Okay, let me run this now. Okay, now you are getting the output as 55. So here what we are doing is when we are calling this function sums, it is asking for the two variables a and b, and here we are passing the num, and num is going to a and this num2 is going to b. That means these values are being assigned here. Then you are performing the calculation of a and b. That's why you are getting the 55 as the output. Okay, now there is one more way. There is one more way. Let me comment it out. Everyone knows now what is a comment, right? I can do something like this. I will copy this, Control C here, and I will paste it here, Control V. And instead of doing the print, what I will do here, I will say return. I will say return, right? Return a plus b. And if I will run it, will you get any kind of output? No, you are not getting any kind of output. Why? Because I have told you a return function returns to the position from where you are calling it. Okay, you are calling it here, so it is returning the sum of a plus b to the position from you are calling it. It is calling here. Now that I told you, return is having the agreement that whoever is calling me, I will give him something. Whoever is calling me, I will give him something, right? Now here something is giving, and it is terminating the function as well. It is terminating the kind of function as well. If I will talk about the layman's language, right, it is kind of terminating the function as well, as you are having the break statement for the while loop to terminate. To terminate any function, you can use the return, right? Return none. You can at that time say you will not return anything, just the return you are saying. At that time, this will stop. Okay, since this is retrieving or returning a plus b to the position from we are calling it here, we are calling it, but we want to print that value. We have to display that value on the screen. For that, we need one statement, and that statement is print. I will say here print, and now it will display something on the screen, right? Now, if I will run it, now you will get the output here, that is 55, right? Getting this point? I can also do it like this. Instead of directly printing it, I can save it in something. I can say c sum, c underscore sum equal to this. Means whatever it will be returning from here, it will return here, it will be here. Then we will assign it, because equal is an assignment operator. I mean, we'll assign it to the c sum, and then we can print. And here I will say c sum, right? Again, you will get the same output. Getting this? That's how we can perform the addition of two numbers using this function, right? This is one more way. One more way is like this. Like this is one more way. Let me comment it. Okay. I can do something like this. Let me create one more function here. Let me create one more function here for you guys. Okay. And what I will do here is I will copy. Let me copy these things. Control C. And here I will say Control V. And here I can say it. So okay, let me make it more complicated. Same program, I will make it as much complicated as possible. Okay, so let me say I will not keep here a and b, and here I will say a equal to int input. Now I will take the input from the user. Input, enter num1, and then I will copy the same thing again. Control C, then Control V, and let me give the name as b, right? And here nothing we have to do. Either we can print it here or we are returning here. Then I will say sums equal to sumz, and let's not keep the name as same, as we will say smg, and then I will print smg here, right? Let me run it now, and it's saying give me the number first. Let's say I will use 12. I will use here 12. What is happening? Okay, numlog 12 I am giving here. Okay, second number, let's say I am giving 7, and the output here you are getting is 9y. Okay, let me run it again. I guess something happened with my. I will give 12 here, and then I will give here 2, and it is giving me the output as 14 here now, right? It is giving me the output as 14, right? That means it is taking the input within the function itself, then calculating here and returning to the position from here. Calling it, we are calling it from here. It is returning the 14 sum here. Then we are assigning this 14 here. Then we are printing it, right? This is one more way. One more way. I can do it like this as well, like argument passing, like I am doing here now. Argument passing, where I have shown you this. Here we are passing as a argument, and we are taking the value. Now see what I can do here. Again I will copy these two lines. Okay, let's not copy. Okay, I can do something like this. I will say def someone, and here I'm saying brackets, then here colon, then here I will say return a plus b, right? And here I will take the two variables as a parameter a and b, right? Now see what I will do here. Whenever I am calling this function, I will say sum1, and here I can directly say int input. Let me copy this thing. Okay, int input. Then I will use here comma, control C, and control V here. Now let's keep B. I will directly int input. Okay. Now let me run this program. Okay, now it's saying give me the first number. Let's say I'll give the first number as 78 and second one, next number as 0. That means the output must be 78. Okay. So what is the thing happening here? Again, it is returning a plus b to the here sum here we are calling it, right? When we are calling the sum at the first index, at the zero index, it is saying something as an input function, right? When we know the input function is there, that means we have to take the input from the user, right? So that's why it is printing this thing and telling you give me the input. Okay, 78 now has been received here. Then comma, again it is checking there is an input function. Then again it is waiting for the user to enter something. The user is entering 0. That means here indirectly we are getting the 78 comma 0, right? This 78 is been sent it to this A, and A is storing 78, and here we have passed the 0, this B is passed here as 0, right? Then it's saying return A plus B, and it is doing 78 plus 0, and it is returning the function here, but we are not printing it here. Let me do the print here statement, print, and here I will have the closing braces as well. Okay, now let me run it. Let me give the first input as 34 and second input as 12. Okay, now it is giving the result as 46. That means this thing is also possible, right? Now let's take one more thing. Let me do something like this. I don't know whether it's valid or not. Let me do something like this. And here let me comment this thing. And okay, now let's not make it complicated. I can copy this thing, Control C, and here I will see Control V, and here I will again see this thing, right? And here I will just call sum 1, and I will use a print statement as well, print, and let me clear this thing, and that is it. Okay, okay, here we have to say a is equal to, because we are using the a and b here, and here I will see b is equal to this thing. Let me run this program. Okay, it is saying enter num1, enter num1 because of this thing. Let me enter the num1 and I will say it is 23. Then I will say 67, and it is giving you the error. Why? Print. Okay, I have to use here print. Let me run it again. Here, let me say it is 34, and let me say it is 43, and now it is giving the output as 77, right? Just the one program we have done how many ways? I guess hope you like this. Take care. We will come with the next program now. Okay. Bye bye.